Hey everybody, John Avigood here. Hello, and good afternoon. Greetings from Glenville, Freeborn, Minnesota. We're at mile marker 4 here on Interstate 35 South. So that means we're only 4 miles north of the state line of Iowa. Once again, today it is Tuesday, February 5th, 2019. Temperature here is 12 degrees. Local time is 12:50 p.m. First and foremost, a special shout out to Ray Dollywall from California, I believe. Congratulations, Ray, for purchasing your own truck. All right, Ray asked what kind of dash cam I use. First and foremost, I'd like to say I don't use dash cam, but I know a lot of people ask that question, and they ask what kind of camera I use. Well, a dash cam is something that loops around and around and around. If you put it on the windshield, and it's got all kinds of, the dash cam. The camera I am using right now, however, is a Sony HDR AS300. Now, somebody would ask, why don't you use a dash cam? Well, first of all, a dash cam has a really different use for it. It's not designed to take somewhere in video. In comparison to the Sony HDR AS300, you can use the Sony as a dash cam, a camera, and while the dash cam is just a dash cam. And the advantage of the Sony HDR AS300 is it's got a built-in gimbal on the lens inside. It's really small, and I really believe, in comparison to even the GoPro Hero Black 7, I think it is more stable, much friendlier to use. The only advantage of the GoPro is it has an LCD where you can frame your shot. But, oh wait, welcome to Minnesota, or thanks for visiting Minnesota, that's right. That was Minnesota entering the beautiful state of Iowa. Welcome to Iowa, everyone. Again, the beauty of the Sony is you can use it both ways. Dash cam, you only stick that to this windshield and you're pretty much done with it. one more advantage of the Sony HDR-AS 300 is it's got a microphone jack input, just like this here. This microphone. Now, imagine using a dash cam all the way over there without a microphone, external microphone plugged to it. It'd be really, really hard. So if that was your question, I hope that helped. Software, what kind of software I use? 99% of the time I use iMovie on the iPad editing software. But if I really wanted to get some technical editing software, look for on the App Store called Luma Fusion, Luma Fusion, Luma Fusion editing software. Now I don't know if Luma Fusion works solely for the Apple product or if it also works for the Android. But before I had the iPad with Apple products, I was a big fan of PowerDirector. That is one beautiful editing software for. Unfortunately, though, the PowerDirector only works for the Android tablets and phones. It does not work on the Apple products. Now, I haven't tried Luma Fusion to the Android. I don't know that. But that's pretty much it, what I use. Again, it's the Sony HDR AS300. And the hat cam that I use is a Sony FDR X3000. And I don't recommend buying that. It's more expensive, and really, there's really not that big of a difference. The only difference is it will take a 4K time lapse. The 3000 and the Sony HDR AS300 will not. But you know what? I don't use 4Ks. From what I understand, 4Ks are, you can't even really notice. The human eyes is not designed to see that detail between a 1080p 30 and 1080 or 4K. Even the 1080p 60 is really, there's no difference. The only difference between the two is if you're gonna do some slow motion videos. The more you slow it down, the more you need a higher resolution so it doesn't pixelate. But for this purpose, well, I'll let you be the judge of it. This camera is a Sony HDR AS300, and it's set at 1080p 30 frame per second. Oh, we're coming up to the Iowa way station, and we've got a pre-pass. Well, that's good. And I think they're closed anyway. And I also don't recommend that you buy the remote control. But it really all depends on what you're using it. For example, like right now I'm using the remote control, so I take it back. I take it back. The remote control is very, very helpful. But you can do without it. You can use your cell phone to remote access your camera. So it really, you're the only one that can really, determine how you're going to use it. But if money is not that big of a deal to you, as far as if you can buy the remote, why not? And that's pretty much really, there's really nothing more to explain or demonstrate. It's just it simply is the simplest way. But again, if you want to just put a dash cam up there just for recording if something were to happen, then I don't know. You can use a dash cam with it, or you can just use the Sony. It's got the loop feature on it. It will loop it every 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Or you can set it, you can put it like a 100 something gigabyte memory card in there, put it at 720 frame per second, and you can record it for 24 hours straight. Again, it's really up to you. Now, if you ask me what kind of dash cam is the best out there, I couldn't tell you that. I don't know. I don't know anything about dash cams. Well, Ray, I hope that helps. I hope God will bless your business adventure 1 mile at a time. I have been struggling on this. There's some certain things that I've been really trying my hardest not to do it, and I'm going to ask you guys for your advice. As you know, there are a lot of people out there. Oh, not a lot, but more than a few, people out there that calls the boss, complains about the littlest thing. For example, somebody called him last week because he wanted the boss to fire me for not picking up someone's garbage. Okay? Stupid phone calls like that. And can you imagine calling somebody else's boss saying, hey, I want you to fire your employee because you didn't pick up somebody's trash. All right. Here's my question to you. The boss has given me all the recordings and all the phone numbers of the people that called him. I had the phone numbers with me. I was thinking of giving out the phone numbers to the whole world. You guys can do whatever you want to do with those numbers. I don't know, give them maybe like 3,000-4,000 phone calls every day. I don't know, it sounds really mean, right? What do you think? Should I do it? Should I release the phone numbers and the voicemails and I'll give you guys their phone numbers. You guys can give them a call and give them a taste of their medicine. I really believe it's wrong, but gosh, it sure feels right, right? Please let me know what your thoughts about that. What would you do if you were me? Would you release them? Peace.